Now speech, this is another area where great balance comes in your life, and this is within your area of influence, and this will make a huge difference in your life. Control your speech. So your tongue is your rudder. It directs which way you go. In fact, the tongue actually looks like a rudder. And Krishna recommends that your speech should be truthful, pleasing, beneficial, non-agitating, and you should regularly recite the Vedas. Yes, non-agitating speech. I was thinking recently about non-manipulative communication. Non-manipulative communication. Be straightforward with people and depend on Krishna and the person's free will for the outcome. Don't try to manipulate people by your... And remember that everyone is sensitive. Sentient beings. Sentient beings are sensitive. Sensitivity means having or displaying a quick and delicate appreciation of other people's feelings. That's what sensitivity means. Having or displaying a quick and delicate appreciation of other people's feelings. So you need to tune your sensitivity. There's a sensitivity frequency that you have to have with your family, with your spouse, with people that you're working with. Understand that they're very sensitive, and what you say and how you say it is very important. Yes? Go ahead and use the mic.
Guru Maharaj, the truth is sometimes harsh, so how it could be pleasing? You know, it's sometimes very painful if you have to...
You have to have sensitivity frequency in tune. And when you know, for instance, when you give feedback to people, that sometimes you have to be straightforward, right? So when you give feedback, remember that everyone is sensitive. Remember that people are sensitive. In fact, I was reading the book of one Christian preacher, and he was saying when he gives a sermon on Sunday, he tells everyone, don't give me feedback till Wednesday. I'm too sensitive until then. When and how you give feedback is very key. Timing, sincerity, and the sequence in which you give the feedback is important. Now, there's this thing about when you give feedback to people, there's this sandwich, which where you give some appreciation and then you tell what the criticism is, the room for improvement, that is, and then you give the positive again. And someone I was talking to yesterday, Rasanath Prabhu and Vrindavan Vinodini, they were saying, well, still, people go right to the center part where you gave them the feedback, room for improvement. And then the other part just seems manipulative, that you threw in those other things just to make me feel better, and it's almost worse. So yes, people are very sensitive, right? So one thing is timing. You have to wait for the right time to give people feedback. If you give it in the heat of the moment, when there's some anger involved or some angst or something like that, and you say it at the wrong time, it might not be well taken. So if you're looking to give somebody feedback, look for a time when they're very open, or they even ask you about it and say, what do you think about the way I talk? It's like, well, even then be careful. And also be very sincere when you present. Don't give undue praise for things that aren't really there, because it'll be taken as insincere. Be sincere about it. And the sequence is important that you presented it also. For instance, when writing a letter, if you want to ask somebody for somebody or give them some feedback, some room for improvement, don't stack the first part of the letter with accolades and say, you're such a nice person, I really love you. But, because it just erases everything else. If you want to say it at the top, and then tell everything else afterwards. And so that's something to think about. The sequence in which you give feedback to people is very important. And the other point is, if the people you're around that you have to give feedback to, if you live in gratitude, what does that mean? It means to appreciate everything Krishna is giving you all the time. If you really, you can cultivate gratitude. Just start by watching the sun and think, Krishna's maintaining me. And, You can think about your heart's beating. I'm lucky to have a body and have a heart. You have to start with the basic gratitude. And also express gratitude, appreciate what other people are doing for you. There's a verse in the Bhagavatam that says we're debtors to all kinds of people when we come into the world. Don't think that you're independent and you're not getting something from everybody. Devarshi bhutatnam nrinam pitranam, etc. This verse says you owe the devas, the rishis, the animals, everyone you owe. You should be grateful to them. People take from the cow all over society and they never say thanks at all. They even don't know what a cow is. They never go, and appreciate that. And it goes on and on, the list goes on. But if you reverse that and you start appreciating and you have gratitude for people, and if you express that gratitude to the people you work with, the people you live to on a regular basis, when you come out with some kind of a feedback for them, room for improvement, they'll appreciate it. Because it's not just in the moment that you said, well, here's a couple good things and here's the room for improvement, but it's all the time you're always appreciating. So live in gratitude and sincerely appreciate what you already have and what your spouse, parents, friends, etc. have done for you before giving them room for improvement. Also, from the receiving end, it's important to, actually I think I'll get to this, but it's important on the receiving end. Here's a mantra I learned recently, which I'll pass on to you. One of the most powerful mantras I've ever learned. I'm sitting up to impart it to you. I live to be corrected. Please repeat.
I live to be corrected.
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 Homework, use that today when someone gives you some advice or corrects you. And you're about to say, well, what are you telling me that for? I already know everything. Say, I live to be corrected.
I live to be corrected.
If you develop that mantra, use that mantra in your life. This goes along with the verse, Tate anukampam susamikshamano bunjana eva makritam vipakam. This verse which is saying, I live to be corrected. I've created a situation, a reality that's around me and a momentum. And whatever's coming at me, I live to be corrected by that. That's for my correction, for my improvement. And whatever harsh thing, whatever even mild thing, but room for improvement someone gives me, just override your ego that says, I can't be corrected, I'm perfect, the ego says. But you have this mantra to override the ego, say, I live to be corrected.